We're here at NOLA and the second race of the season, and you know, the Evo's had a lot of changes since Las Vegas. We've got our Drenth sequential gearbox working properly now, so now it's a flat on the floor with the throttle and pull it in gear. Don't have to lift the shift. So it's working the way it was intended to. So that's worth time. That's worth time on the racetrack and also on the autocross course and maybe the speed stop, we'll see. We also were able to finally trace and track down the misfire problems that we're having with this engine that we've constantly been having for the last few years with this car. And we've traced it all down, figured it out. The car's running great. None of these races are laydowns. You've got to bring your A game and be able to compete against the best. So there's a whole lot of science to all this in going fast. So just showing up with what you think is going to be competitive isn't good enough. You know, as a driver, you've got to be dialed in. You've got to know what to do and how to go fast on all these courses. You've got to be able to go walk an autocross course and know what to do. You just can't go out there and go for it. You know, you have to have skills. Well, you know, one of the good things about this series is you go to different places and you get a lot of different things thrown at you. Like this autocross course here is on a smaller skid pad area. It's probably a quarter the size of the track that we had in Las Vegas. Much simpler course. This is an easy one. It's pretty wide, so you know, you'll see a lot of guys going over the chalk lines and back it in here. We've changed a lot of things on the car. Mainly we made first gear taller, meaning we can carry more speed with our first gear. So maybe, I don't know if we can do the whole thing in first. Maybe first and second gear are really close, so maybe it'll work for us, we'll see. I look at the roster, the entry list of who we're competing against whenever we come to these things, and Mike DeSold is bringing his Camaro, and that is just a beautiful work of art. He's a craftsman, he's an artist, and that car really reflects that. So you better bring your A game in design and engineering. All right, good. Now we're in the D&E line, first thing. We decided to do design and engineering first before the competition even started here at NOLA, and because the car is the cleanest, it's as pristine as you can get it. And we wanted to add reds just so it pops and makes it look pretty. We wanted to try and have a SEMA car that also races. The judges really looked at the car and really liked the car, and they, you know, after my presentation, they kept opening doors and looking in the trunk, climbing underneath the car. So they were really engaged in it. You can look at the trunk. We even went as far as to finish that off. We had Showtime stitched in the carpet there. There were two cars already in line, so that gave the judges a chance to get warmed up before they got to us. So, and it also allowed us to get through design and engineering without losing a lap over on the autocross course. Overall, for this competition, it's got all-wheel drive, it's got launch control, it's making 550 horse. It's just a really well-balanced car for the overall win here. There's a lot of fast and furious guys out there modding their Evos and that type of thing. This is a true street car that you can really drive on the racetrack and compete. It's really a one of one. You're never going to see anything like this. And I hope that people see it on screen and see it live, that they get it. It is an interesting car. And it's super quick.
It looks something like this.
All right, I like our chances. like it's been week after week, we post up, you know, a pretty decent time. I hit a cone, but you know, it was pretty encouraging that we were at the top of the leaderboard right away, right from the very first lap. But I fully expect us to be in the 28s for sure.
It's going to take a little bit for the surface to come in, I think. You know, after first run, it definitely felt slick. It's going to be a good time. I might have to throw a shift in there, I'm not sure. How's Ken like it? That's the question.
Hopefully top 5, hopefully top 3. I'll be in the low 28s pretty soon. Are you going to follow me?
No, I don't need to go 28. I'm just going to go 27.
27. Oh, going to throw down to 27 right away. Knowing that the second lap coming up, it's like, okay, let's not hit a cone and stick a good time in there. And we did get a decent time in there. Andy Hollis in his Miata posted a really good time. He's a national champion and was able to post up a 29.1, which was a pretty fast time, a couple of tenths quicker than us. And then Mike backed it up. Mike came back with a 29.1. Man, it just charges so quick from corner to corner. You gotta really be ready to get on the brakes like now, because it's, before you know it, you're there and you're hauling. There's always a mental game going on in the paddock.
If you go 28.4 better, you win. 28.4 slower, I win. What are we
No, you said you're doing 27.
No, we're just betting on your time.
Oh.
You're the one that says confidence is
Okay.
high and I'm going to be so fast.
$50.
$50 that you run faster than a 28.4?
Yeah. You know, we're always ribbing each other and it's all in good fun. But in the end, you know, it's hardcore.
I can go 28. Say that the course isn't necessarily trickier than it looks. It's just one of those courses that you really have to mind the balance between minimum distance and holding your speed. You know, if you've got spots on the course where you're giving up too much speed, then you're just throwing time out the window. And it's really easy to do. I mean, the right line on this course is like threading a needle. And if you don't thread the needle right, you're going to be slow.
To get some rear bite, that's for sure. When we're trying to improve on the autocross course, it's I have to admit it was a big mental problem for me, more so than the car. I think the car was really good. It was me figuring out what I needed to do as a driver to get the good time around there. We're throwing this race away and we got, you know, 3 or 4 more runs left in us here, so we've got to make it stick. We're gonna make it happen. We were experimenting with things. We were tuning on the car, trying to make it faster, and then when it wouldn't go faster, we'd go back the other way. So we're constantly tinkering with the car, and mentally, I was beginning to wear down and wasn't as aggressive as I normally am.
I mean, right now, it just is a little bit of a mental error is the difference between, you know, half a second. So I lost half a second on that last last run just because I got in my head a little bit about staying clean and staying off cones. And that was the difference. So I got to go out the next one and just try and put the two things together. And that's the hard part, and that's what makes this so much fun and so addicting, is that it is so difficult. You know, it's not easy. And if it was easy, it'd get boring.
Yeah, you know, we're running the autocross. We got 4 runs in the morning, and it really came down to 3 cars: our Evo, Mike's Camaro, and Andy Hollis's Miata. And so I thought we had separated ourselves from the rest of the pack, and it looked like we were just gonna walk away from the field. But you know, we were kind of stuck in the low 29s, and the field kept coming to us. Somebody is gonna show up with something that you go, wow, I didn't see that coming. But you never know who's lurking in these swamps around here, who's going to come out of the muck and the guck to get you. And, you know, you never know.
I'm going to try to put down the time of my life right here.
I was really surprised to see the GTR come out of nowhere and just start laying down great times.
I know it. I mean, he was out of it.
Clean, first one in the 28s, it's got a clean run. Very happy. Ability to be able to grip around any corner, and then the all-wheel drive system to be able to accelerate out of any corner. It straightens me out. If I'm starting to slide and I give it gas, the car just straightens itself right out. So it's a phenomenal car.
Here's another scenario where we're not improving, but the pack is, and you're going to get past. We finished 8th in autocross at Vegas, and pretty soon we went from 1st to 3rd to 4th to 5th, and now we're sitting in 6th place. Here we go, all over again.
Our last lap there, we lowered the launch control revs so we wouldn't get so much wheel spin. Well, what that gave us was we bogged on the line, left a lot of time at the start line. We still made it up. We ran a really quick time, the second quickest time of the day for us with that bog. So we're going back. We still got a good time left in this car. We might get one last lap, so stay tuned.
Coming into the last lap on the autocross, you know, I was sitting 4th or 5th overall. You know, I was looking at losing a bunch of points, and it was Vegas all over again. And I had the feeling like, you know, I needed to throw the Hail Mary. I needed to go throw it in the end zone and jump up and see if it can come down with the touchdown.
Go get him, Ken!
When it came to that last lap that I needed, I just felt, you know, I'm just going to leave it all out on the court and drive that car as hard as I possibly could without hitting a cone. Was writing it down, and then he's writing, and I'm going, what is it? And he looks in his book, goes back, writes some more. He goes, well, unofficially, it's the fast time of the day. I went, yeah! Yeah! Pulled it in gear real quick and then back down to first. Oh, yeah!
Well played. By what, 2/100ths of a second?
Yeah, hey, I know. Thanks, man, thanks. Appreciate it. You did great today.
Yeah.
You really turned it on there, man. I was like, God, what's it gonna take? What a relief. What a relief. I hate it when it comes down to the wire, but I love it when we pull it out at the last minute like that. 20, 40. You know what? I made a bet with Mike saying I'd run a 28.4. I ran a 28.8. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. 20, 40, 5, 50. And I'll gladly pay the money as long as I was in front of him. Doing what just happened on the autocross, where you've been struggling all day, fighting, you know, first I was leading, then I was in 3rd, then I got passed for 4th, then I was bumped to 5th. We weren't going any faster. Earlier on in my career, it's like kind of racing and being in a pack, and you're in fifth most of the time, and you're trying to work your way to the front, and you finally do it, you make the passes on the last lap for the win, you know? And I had done that before, and that's what this feels like. The last minute, last pass in the last corner, that's what this feels like. And God, it feels good.